Hello and welcome to the October Koa reading for approximately the moon cycle ahead. Today we are using the Next World Tarot, which looks like this. And I shuffled beforehand because they're enormous, but I haven't figured out what the three cards are just yet. So just give me a second. One card, another card, 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 card. Okay, give me one more second. All right, so I don't know if I've announced this yet, but as of like a week or two ago, I stopped reading reverse for a while. It's just going to be on pause for a little bit because I am currently looking at the big picture. Occasionally I do get prompted to do reverse cards, and I will, of course, and I'm sure there'll come a time when I do them again, but right now that's just on pause a little bit. So let's dig into our October 2019 Koa concern, opportunity, obstacle, advantage, aversion, reading. Okay. We are with fire and air in October, which is funny because obviously Scorpio is the water sign that often people forget is a water sign and mistake for a water sign, thinking Aquarius, the water bearer, is a water sign, even though that's an air sign. So we have, but I don't know why I mentioned air. Anyway, I was going to say Scorpio always seems to me like the steamier water sign. And then we have some swords energy, which obviously air, because Libras be in their head. So we have for the concern card the Eight of Wands in the Next World Tarot by Cristy C. Cristy C. wrote. So we got the Eight of Wands. You see this person tra-la-lying here, okay? Just going about their business. So this person is holding a mutual aid bag, and then there are sort of leaves and things blossoming from their bag or coming out of their bag. And then there are locks here on the bridge. Oftentimes those locks are done for love or in memory of people or in symbology of a relationship. And then we see there's the sun and the golden hour happening in the background. Now I really like this because I think in some more traditional, which the Next World Tarot is not, obviously, that's why it's the Next World, but in some traditional tarot, I think the Eight of Wands comes across as sort of a like force and burden and feeling put upon. And I think that can be true on the shadow side or the negative side of the spectrum. But I think that in the Eight of Wands in this deck, what I'm getting for it is sort of like the abundant possibilities of which you are welcome to engage in, and to do so to the degree that you're able, to at the consistency that you're able, as much as you enjoy, to the best of your ability, to sort of just facilitate a more agreeable existence in harmony with your desires and your needs, right? Because if we believe wholeheartedly in the invention of humanity, then we put ourselves in a situation where we are relying upon human understanding collectively and individually and in our personal experience to navigate all that there is for us. And that's just not possible because we're not just human beings, we're also consciousnesses, we're also perspectives in existence, we're earthlings, we are a part of various communities beyond humanity. And so if we don't account for those, it can feel very sorry, the word I'm getting oppressive and put upon, but burdensome. That's the word I was looking for. So it can get very burdensome. So the Eight of Wands in the Next World Tarot to me is telling me that there's much to engage in. You know, we see the ocean, we see leaves, we see this person sort of playfully walking down a bridge, a place between two worlds, right, and over water too, in harmony with and relationship with the emotional intelligence and the emotional perspective. And so if anything, this sort of facilitates, I mean, it's definitely very Libra Scorpio, because with Libra and Scorpio, we have a need for justice and balance and fairness to ourselves and to our ideals and to our visions. You know, it's very Venusian Libra, and so there's a lot of there about art and the appreciation of things and aesthetics and how things feel and how they present themselves. And then we have Scorpio, the research depth motherfucker, who wants nothing but the exact actual magnitude that's going on, and so we'll hone in order to extract and cultivate what they want. And so here I think that we have a recognition, Libran recognition, and just recognition of our desires and our ideals and our wants. And then with Scorpio, we have that razor precision, that bluntness, that unwillingness to relinquish the power that is ours until it proves otherwise, right? So there's tenacity in there, and there's encouragement to see what you're made of, honestly. And no better month than October to do that. Come on, the veil is thinning. We in our first official fall month, you know, we got Samhain, and then we got Dia de los Muertos, and then we got Holy Saints Day. You know, we got all these things. So there's lots coming up energetically that energetically it can be very supportive of our unknowable desired ideals and creations, right? To bring that from the immaterial and manifest it into the material realm. We have a lot of energy and potency for that this month. Then the next card, our opportunity obstacle, not what we hold, but how we carry what we hold. Color. Oh my gosh, guys, look. Oh, I'm like matching myself. Anyway, our second card is the Ace of Swords. Oh, snap. Okay, so we got a Swiss Army knife, right? It got like every kind of thing in it. And then it's sprouting on the ground there. And it says the roots of action. And with the roots of action, first of all, you know, ace in the pocket. Got to be playing the right game for the ace to be extra valuable. But as long as you're playing your game, you have the advantage. Wait, how does he do? As long as you are playing your game, you have the advantage, right? So the Ace of Swords is about truth-telling, right? It's about victory, and but victory through the truth, victory through authenticity, victory through cutting through bullshit, victory through the death of the negative ego. I don't know if I said this in the last reading, but you know, our dignity and our ego are not synonymous. And our love and appreciation for life and our desire not to die are also not synonymous, right? Because there's a lot of trepidation about what will come and a lot of desire for not having that, you know, negative affirmation. But that's not wanting to arrive at a premature end or at a painful end is really not the same as desiring to be alive. And so with the Ace of Swords, I think there is here a sort of a brilliance, but also a bluntness, a sort of searing aspect to it where it's sort of, we have to be true to survive. And that's why it's a Swiss Army knife, right? It's got all kinds of things in it that are useful, but it's like, you will have everything you need to survive. Swiss Army knife is to try and prepare you for every situation, and we are Swiss Army knives. Now, how many parts of that tool we utilize on ourselves depends on how much we are actually playing our own game, right? Because if we're not playing our own game, then we're not able to use all the tools that are necessary for us to be ourselves. So the Ace of Swords is sort of here to cut through the illusion. Perfect time, you know, this thin veil, this fall time, this spiritual time is about intentional playfulness, intentional role play, and that kind of intentional fantasy building has a mirroring effect on reality where you are focusing on what reality is in such a way to distill something that then can help facilitate fantasy. And so in that sense, I think that we have an opportunity to really see how unrealistic some of our ideas are this month, or how much they are not nourishing or sustaining. That can be relationships, jobs, circumstances, partnerships. It can be anything, but it's about finding what actually feels fulfilling, and not just going with what will help us survive, right? It's about fulfillment and sustenance and fulfillment. And I mean, I think even technically, although I'll have to etymology this, sustenance has it built in that it should be holistic and nourishing. But in the event that sustenance just means taking something into the body, then fulfillment, nourishment means it actually being something that's positive for your undertaking, right? Long term. That's something that is restorative in its how it regenerates in your body is restorative. And then finally, we have got the nine of wands. And in our advantage or aversion position. Advantage or aversion is more like our character, and whether that we use it to our advantage or aversion, whether we allow it to serve us or sort of undermine our character. And we have the 9 of wands. Homegirl is sitting there with 9 guitars. It says resilience, and it also says moon in Sagittarius, whereas the 8 of wands says Mercury in Sagittarius in direct action. But you'll see that when you see the picture, obviously. So the 9 of wands, cultivation, preparation, cultivation, give them what they want. I heard that in a DMX voice. So there is I was just writing about this in my Dalchemist readings, which you can find on my Instagram, which is at Sanyu-Estelle. There's no dash, that's my Venmo. You can Venmo me too if you want. But my Instagram is just at Sanyu Estelle, S-A-N as in Nancy, Y-U-E-S-T-E-L-L-E. And in my Dalchemist readings, I was talking about how our fixation on humanity and human validation makes us not appreciate the thing for the thing itself, right? So it's like we want someone to hear us play the piano and say it sounds amazing, or hear us sing and say it sounds amazing, and then because of that expectation and that desire that views only the outcome as valuable, not only but fixates on the outcome as most valuable, loses the absolute value of just playing for the sake of enjoying your relationship with the piano or with the guitar, or just singing, enjoying your relationship with your voice and the discovery of what kinds of relationships you can have with that, and like what the spectrum is. So the 9 of wands to me also means giving them what they want. In DMX voice is like cultivating the relationships of the things that you claim to appreciate. That can be people, but I'm really getting from this about personal development. You know, wands is a sort of reflection about personal development, about mirroring, about passion, about drive, about your inner working engine. So the things that you love, like for me, that would be writing my book, writing my Dalchemist readings. I'm going to Oregon on tour, so I'll be doing workshops there, and I'll be doing readings up there. So this is all me putting my time and energy and love into the things that I say that I enjoy just for the sake of them themselves. I don't know what the results are going to be. I don't know if I'm going to have a highly successful tour. I don't know whether all this writing is going to be fruitful in the end, but the point is that I'm cultivating that relationship because of my love for it, period, without any further validation than my relationship with the thing itself, which is equally valuable to any human's opinion, and is certainly as valuable as my own, and worth appreciating in and of itself. Because when we only do something towards an end without appreciating the process, then the results also don't feel as nourishing and abundant and sustaining, because we really aren't appreciating we're not appreciating all of it. So this is a pretty short and sweet October Koa reading with Sanyu Estelle, depending on if you like a short or long A. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next month.